Hey guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my beautiful mess. So in today's video, I decided to do a Valentine's Day inspired look. I had posted a photo of my makeup on Instagram and asked if you guys wanted to see a tutorial on this look, and majority of you said yes, so I'm gonna go ahead and film it for you. If you would like a drugstore version of this tutorial, let me know and I would be happy to do that for you as well and use some more affordable products, because the stuff that I'm going in with today is more on the high end, but I'm using a very popular palette and a lot of people tend to have it. Either way, I'd be happy to do a more affordable version for you if that's more your speed. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I've already done my brows off camera. I just used my regular eyebrow pencil. And then I went in with the Essence Make Me Brow, and this is like the dupe for the Benefit Give Me Brow. This is like a $3 version dupe versus $24, so I highly recommend. This is really good. And it also puts fibers in your brows, so it makes them appear to be more full, because I definitely suffer from sparse eyebrows. I already primed my eyes as well, and I just went in with my regular eyeshadow primer and the Mercier translucent setting powder just to set that in place. The palette that we're gonna go in with, I'm actually gonna use two today. You could totally create this look with just the one palette, but because I have both, I'm gonna use both. But again, you can create a similar look just using one or the other. You don't need to have both. I'm first gonna go in with Golden Ochre and use this as my transition shade along my crease. I'm just taking that on my fluffy crease brush and just buffing that in. And then to blend that shade out, I do have a cream matte shade in this palette, so I'm gonna go in with Tempera and just buff those edges out. Blend it a little bit better. This is like a must-do step for me. I can't not go in and blend the edges out. I just think it looks really pretty because it creates a gradient effect. And then I'm gonna go in with a different brush, and I'm just gonna use this Vanity Planet one that came in a brush set and use the shade Love Letter. And I'm just gonna lightly tap into this and really tap it off, because these are very, very pigmented eyeshadows. And again, I'm just gonna buff this color into the crease as well, making sure I don't go above that transition shade that I just put down. So in fun news, life update, I got hired for a job. I've only been unemployed for about 6 months. It's very difficult to get jobs out here because you're competing against like 700 different spouses, and they only have like 400 jobs available for spouses. So I'm happy to report that I am the newest bartender at the bowling alley on Beige. So pretty excited. It'll be nice to get back to work. It'll also be nice to be on a similar schedule as my last job in New York, because I'll have a guaranteed weekend every week, and the shifts will be, it'll be part-time, but I can work more if I want. So I'm excited. So more money towards our trips and travel and makeup, because I already don't have enough. Okay, so as you can see, this color is very, very choppy. So what I'm gonna do is go back into Golden Ochre and kind of mix it in with Tempera and just go over those edges. It did blend out a little bit too much, so just going back in with that color and re-deepening it back up. Is that even a word, re-deepening? I don't know. It is now. And then I'm not going in with any extra product on this brush. I'm just buffing out those edges. Okay, I'm gonna dip back into Tempera, that cream matte shade, and just go over the edges lightly. Just to be careful that I'm not blending anything away, because I do want to keep the intensity. I'm gonna go in with Venetian Red and mix it with Red Ochre and put this in the outer V to deepen up the look. Okay, not going in with any extra product, just blending this out. So I'm gonna cut my crease, and don't be overwhelmed when I say that, because I'm a beginner. I've only done this once or twice, but as long as you have a brush that matches your eye shape, I don't know if it's gonna focus because I changed all the settings. As long as you have a brush that looks like this, that will follow the curvature of your eyelid, it's really easy. So what I'm gonna do is take some of the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer and just load this up on my brush. About this much on both sides. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to kind of look down into my mirror like this and start carving out . And just tap this outer edge out with your finger to blend. I know it looks really intense right now. Just the process. And then what you can do is go in with your fluffy crease brush and just kind of blend out that upper edge so that it's not so intense, while the concealer is still a little bit tacky. So what cutting the crease is gonna do is it creates a very bright base for your glitter and shimmer shadows that you apply on top of it. So you can use like a glitter glue or some setting spray and whatever brush you wanna use to apply it, or even your finger, but I just find that this, it gives a sticky base to the eyeshadow to adhere to, so it really just amps up the color. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye. It really is okay if it's not perfect. Because it's not going to be super noticeable once you put on the eyeshadow on top of it. So don't stress if the shapes aren't the same, or if you went too high on one eye and too low on the other. It's really not, you're not going to be able to tell. So then I'm going to take a very similar brush, and this is the MAC 242, and I'm going to go into the Violet Voss palette, which is the My Holy Grail palette, and it has all of these shades in it, so really pretty. And I'm gonna go in with Cranberry Splash right here and apply that to the outer third of my eye. So where that dark shade was, where that deepest shade was that I put down, I'm doing about the middle of my eye to that outer V color. And if you find you're not really getting the color payoff that you want, you can use your finger, or you can try using some setting spray. And then I'm gonna use the same brush, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Ploof right here, which is this pinky metallic shade. And I'm gonna put that all over the inner corner and the inner first half. So same brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some setting spray because this isn't really giving me the intensity that I want. So I'm just gonna go back into that Ploof shade. And then go back into that cranberry shade. And and lightly tap over where they meet to help blend it out. And I'm not going in with any additional product on this brush. I'm just going with whatever's left over on it and blending where those two colors meet on the outer V. Beautiful, beautiful. And then what I'm gonna do is take my fluffy crease brush and just lightly go over where the other shades meet in the middle, just to give it a more gradient effect, because I don't want anything to be too harsh. I like how that looks. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna go in with my face halo and just clean up my under eye. Be careful. Now, if you wanted to amp this look up even more, you could add a winged liner and some falsies. I'm not gonna do that today. I don't feel like it. So, just gonna go in, curl my lashes, and apply 2 coats of the Better Than Sex mascara. Like I said, you don't have to go in with a Violet Voss palette if you don't have it. You only need one for this look. So if I were just using this palette, what I would do is go in with the Mercier shade all over that concealer and just re-deepen out the outer V, and it would give you a very similar effect. I thought I was recording. My camera stopped. I went in with my coconut primer water, and then I decided to use the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, and it's just a very luminizing primer. Like, as you can see, it just gives my skin a very nice glow. My last primer is the Tatcha Silk Canvas, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put that in my problem areas where I have enlarged pores. Primer is on, my face is ready to go, so I'm just gonna go in with my tried and true, my Naked Skin, or I always call it Naked Skin, it's Stay Naked. Just gonna put that on my beauty blender and start dotting that around my face, focusing majority of the product on the bigger areas and then dotting excess on the outsides. And then just go in and start blending. I'm gonna go in with that same concealer I used for my eyeshadow, and this is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. This is very, very, very full coverage, and I find it to be a little bit drying, so I'm just gonna go in with a very small amount. Put a little on my chin. And then, because that shade is pretty light, I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Born This Way. This is in a little bit of a deeper shade and it's more hydrating. I'm just gonna go over that a little bit. And then blend it out. If you have dry under eyes, I recommend the method that I do for blending out my concealer. I know this looks intense. Don't worry. It's all gonna come together. So what I like to do is blend the concealer down and out first in a triangle shape, and then I'll go in and blend it above my eye. Once the majority of the product is down, see how like my under eye isn't concealed yet? Now with less product, I'll go underneath my eye and do that area, because I don't want it to look too heavy underneath my eyes. And because this is a drying concealer, I don't want it to be crepey. So now I'm gonna go in with setting powder, and then I'm just gonna use the Laura Mercier translucent powder, use my sponge, tap off some excess, and bake. And this is called baking because you leave the powder on your under eye for a couple minutes and your body temperature kind of bakes it in place. So this is really good for like if you have long events that you're going to, or you just need your makeup to stay in place all day. This will combat any oils, pretty much make it sweat proof, bulletproof. drag makeup artists do this and works really well. Then I'm gonna take my stippling brush, whatever's left over on the back of my hand, and some in the cap, and blend on the rest of my face just to set all of that foundation. And today I'm just gonna use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Just kind of swirl that around. This is a nice matte bronzer and it smells like a tropical vacation. It's so good. I'm gonna go in with this, the Vintage Cosmetic Company angled brush. This one is a little bit more stiff than the loveeee brush I usually use. And then I'm going in with the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil matte bronzer in deep/medium. And I'm going to contour out my nose very carefully. And then go in with that Morphe M510 brush, swirl that around, tap it off, and apply it right under the cheekbones. Okay, and then for blush, I'm gonna go in with the Laura Geller Baked Blush. Aww, I went to pull this out and it came off. Let's see, super glue your together better. Okay, this is what the baked blush looks like from Laura Geller. This is in the shade Tropic Hues. I'm just gonna generously swirl my brush in here, top it off. Apply it to the apples of my cheeks and back. You can see it's very glowy. Very glowy. And then for highlighter, I'm gonna go in with the Cookie highlighter from Benefit. I decided to go in with this one because it has like a pink champagne-y undertone, so I think it'll look really good with the eyes. Just going to apply this to the tops of my cheekbones. Going in with that same highlighter, I'm going to use that for my inner corner and my brow bone. Focusing the majority of the product right under the arch of the brow and then dragging it to the tail and the inner part. I'm going to take my flat definer brush and go back in with that Modern Renaissance palette. I'm gonna use the shade Love Letter and just really pack this tightly up along the lower lash line. Then I'm gonna take a pencil brush and go in with that Tempera shade, that matte cream shade, and just buff that out. And then I like to go in with setting spray before I do my bottom lash mascara, just because I find that sometimes I don't wait long enough, and then when I do it and I blink, it gets all on my under eye. So I'm gonna go in with the Urban Decay All Nighter and just spritz this all over my face. I wish I had like a hand fan, like a you know, just to dry it a little faster. I'm gonna go in with lipstick. This is the Stila Stay All Day Liquid Lipstick in the shade Patina? I don't really know how to say it, but it's this beautiful shade. Sometimes when I can't decide what color I want to go with, I'll hold it up to my lips like this and just compare it with the eyeshadow. So this is gonna be really pretty. So I'm gonna go in with this. Okay, so that is lips done. And I'm just gonna go in with my bottom lash mascara. Okay, you guys, and this is the completed look. I love how it turned out. Don't be intimidated by a cut crease. All you need is a really good brush and it doesn't even have to be expensive. This is a ColourPop brush. This was $6. You just want something that's gonna be tapered and fit the shape of your eye. And you just need concealer. It's super easy. Like I said, if you wanted to glam it up even more, you could add falsies and a winged liner, but ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not trying to be here for another hour trying to perfect my wings on both sides. So I'm just gonna leave it at this. I'm really happy with how it turned out. The lip color matches perfectly. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. That way you won't miss out on any future uploads. And if you hit the post notification bell, you will be notified every time I do upload a video. Thank you for supporting my channel by watching, and leave a comment down below if you would like to see a drugstore version of this tutorial. I do have drugstore makeup in my collection, and I have a perfect affordable eyeshadow palette in mind to create another Valentine's Day look. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.